You're watching The Mic Check, on every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Just rolling. Hello and welcome everyone to this week's Mic Check. Say hi to the group. It's a small one and it's also a short script, so this is going to be a short episode. But short scripts should never, ever be underestimated because they have this fun habit of really getting out of hand sometimes. So, Richard, you're first. Why don't you go ahead and take it away for us?
All right. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels of zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. Frank, let's get you rolling.
I'm unmuting, I'm rolling, I'm typing, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Hold on a second. All right. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. Andrea.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. Russ.
Oh my God, where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. Michael.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. Leonard, you there?
Yep.
All right, you're up.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in, it's free. Pluto TV. And I got here late. Who still needs to go?
I gotta go.
Nick.
Okay, well, go ahead.
That would be me. Help if I unmute. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
All right, Rob, you're up.
Might take a little while because I going through. Okay. Now, all right, kind of, sort of. How's my volume, by the way?
Decent.
I can barely hear you guys. Is it good?
Pretty
You're
good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Where do you go when you drop? Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zero. Oh my gosh! Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Okay, so that's everybody for now, right? Cool. Let's
Yes.
talk about this. Starting with the basics. Where is this used? What do you see? Radio, or should I say audio only or audio visual? What kind of
I think
commercial is this?
it could probably transition between both. I mean, it's such a short spot, though. I mean, it seems more like a bumper that you would find while you're watching Pluto TV.
Yeah,
For
it's
that
almost
matter.
like a giant tagline. It's not even
Yeah.
really a
Yeah. I mean, I literally see the Pluto TV logo, 5-second bumper. You know, it's just coming from a TV guy's
Something with
angle
video.
here.
I could definitely see it being used for video. I don't know so much as for just straight audio, but I could definitely see it being used for video for
Yeah,
sure.
it could be an internet ad.
Yeah, an internet ad, very good, Russ. Or
Yeah,
even
one of those
just
where-
like Nathan suggested, a bumper or a splitter
Mhm.
coming off the back end of spots or something like that. You could picture it like
Yeah.
an animated living room, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden a real person gets dropped into an easy chair or something like that with a remote in their hands, and their eyes kind of go wow.
Hey, and the way
kind of thing.
the way the commercials are dropped in by a math algorithm on some of these streaming channels, more than likely you just got cut right into the middle of the continuity of a joke. So, just saying, it's wrong. But yeah, I can just see it. Just that little, you know, it's one of those. This is what you're watching things, even though they're advertising themselves on themselves. Because I've watched Dish Network do it, or Dish do it. DirecTV does it. Comcast does it. You know, it's like, I'm already watching you. You're advertising for yourself on yourself, preaching to the choir. What is up with that? But anyway,
Especially
Or
when
it
they
could be one of those little short little short commercials that pop up, you know, and you can't like get out of it
yeah, this
because it's only like an
stop in
8-second
5
commercial
seconds.
or something, and it just goes
Gotta
across
skip
and
the
then it's
ad.
done. I love those. Just don't
Yeah.
see them often enough.
Yeah, you can't skip this ad. Thank you.
Sorry, Rob, what were you saying?
I said it interrupts the sports feed if you're looking at the bottom line.
So realistically, let's go ahead and look at this. I will confirm that this is a TV spot. So it is audio visual. But the thing is you really have to look at this. If this was audio only, why would think about the other streaming commercials or the types of streaming commercials that are on say, you know, Spotify or Hulu or not Hulu, but like music streaming services, XM and stuff like that. They're usually longer. They have more meat to them because they have to try to sell it a little bit more. You know, they usually highlight big shows and things like that that they have featured. You know, that's the kind of stuff that you'll come across when it comes to those kinds of those ads. They're meatier, they're thicker, they've got more to them. This is really thin. This really doesn't have a whole lot going on in it specifically, meaning that this is supported by something else at the same time.
Yeah, there's a visual most of the time, and this is just coming at it because I've done master control for so long. Usually when we do a spot like this, there's not even an animation on the screen. It's just a static image. You know,
Oh, well, this has some video, and your voiceover is being being like stretched. It's not all happening one after the other.
Okay. So this is cut up. This is not just a 5-second bumper spot.
Correct.
It just
So
looks
it's
like
closer
one
to,
because of the length of the copy itself.
Right.
That makes
This is
sense.
closer to an 8 to 10 second spot. So
Okay.
it just has
I
video.
timed it real quick, and it's just under 10, so it's somewhere between 8 and 10 depending.
So it's
There's
basically
actually quite a little bit of a gap in between the first question and then the rest of it. And even between all of those lines, there's just a slight extra gap in there too.
Yeah. So there's all bunch of video running, and then you have our fantastic voices.
Yeah.
dropping
After
in
this
there.
whole thing, I'll actually paste in the link so you guys can see what the commercial looks like.
Okay.
But yes, this is audio visual. So you are supporting what's happening on screen, obviously, but you don't have a whole lot of time. You can play with that a little bit more. I don't really think that the volume rules apply quite as much when you have a lot less to say.
True.
So say it would be the difference between this and like a car commercial. In a car commercial, you are supposed to be you're usually talking throughout the entire thing. So keeping it low and whatnot is kind of what you want to do. But for something like this, you have a little bit of extra room. You have a little bit of extra space. There's visuals going on screen, yes, but you're also part of what's going on at the same time. So you don't necessarily have to keep that 70% volume. You can be a little bit more expressive. Now, looking at the direction, it says that the first line, where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV, is sort of is a little suspenseful. It's sort of supposed to build you up to something exciting. And then hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. You're sort of playing on that joke, zeros of dollars. You know, nobody ever says that. What the hell are you talking about? But yeah, zeros of dollars is supposed to be sort of a selling point. So hundreds of channels, you're getting a lot of value for zeros of dollars for not a lot of cost. So you want to highlight those two things in some way, shape, or form. You want to make sure that your listener knows they're getting a lot for not a whole lot spent. I heard a lot of energy dying on drop in, it's free. You know, hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in, it's free. You know, like the energy just sort of fell off. Try to keep the performance all the way through. If you're going to drop off even just a little bit, maybe on Pluto TV, but I wouldn't do it too much. I would try to keep it consistent all throughout. And again, you're trying to sell the fact that, yes, this is free. It's not costing you anything. So does anybody have any questions, any insights, anything that maybe I didn't mention or should go over or whatnot? Any
Yeah,
input?
what do you think about the first line being in like a zone 1 and then pulling back to make
You
it
could
more
do that.
suspenseful?
You could try that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it'd be the right choice or not. Definitely something to go for.
And then line 2, when you did it, it didn't seem like you gave enough energy. I think you were maybe trying to hold back because it
Okay.
said not over the top, but the level you gave it seemed under the top, like way under to me.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Well,
What do you think?
I mean, again, we'll go ahead and probably go over that with in the directed reads. Probably talk about that a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough
But
because like on the first one, it's a totally different feeling. So the second one, it does sound over the top almost no matter what you do because you're changing so much.
right.
So it's a
So
fine
Rob
line.
asked, what do we mean by zone 1? So zone 1 is sort of a little bit of a mic technique.
Up this
Zone 1 is
way.
when you, it's kind of like what Richard did. It's when you're really close and a little bit quiet on the microphone. Zone 2 is when you're farther back and it's more conversational. And zone 3 is when you back way off the mic and you get to be a little bit louder. So what Russ was talking about was starting with the zone 1 and then moving back to zone 2 or even 2.5 if you wanted to. So something like that.
And John has joined us.
All right. So we'll add him to the list.
You know, when you change zones, it changes your sonic environment, sort of. Does that at all you feel screw up your recording in general when, because it does, you know what I mean?
It can
Makes it sound inconsistent or something.
Yeah.
It can.
Yeah, I'd be reluctant to go zone 1 and then zone 2, but I could see starting zone 2 and then going to 2.5 or something like that.
Or zone 1.5 and then 2, sort of
Yeah.
a little bit closer. Yeah. Basically, I guess you don't want to fluctuate that much. You don't want to do full zone changes, but you definitely want to have a little bit of something. John, welcome.
Hi.
You are at the end of the list. Did you get do you have the script?
Yeah, just brought it up.
All right. Would you like to give us a really brief cold read, really quick one?
Certainly. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
We were just talking about some potential techniques to use, potentially changing zones from the first sentence to the rest of it. We were talking about how we definitely want to make sure that we're telling people that they're getting a lot for not a lot of expenditure. So hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Make sure that those kinds of things are a little bit more emphasized. Does anybody else have any other input or any ideas or thoughts or questions about the script? Okay, so I guess we can go ahead and go back into our reads. All right, starting with Richard. Richard, go for it.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels of zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think? Let's give them some feedback.
I kind of like that inflection on the first line that you used. It kind of worked for me.
Yeah, I added some commas for me, so I knew where I wanted to do a little extra pause for the suspense factor.
Mm-hmm. I felt it.
One thing I noticed, you replaced for of hundreds of channels of zeros of dollars. instead of hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars.
Oh, I said of instead of for.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So make sure to try to keep that straight. Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. You got it. You got it. Let's not pull a Janet here and come down on ourselves too hard.
No.
You know, don't
It's
overthink
like
about it too
says
much.
for and I said of. Well, there, it's highlighted now. It won't be of next time.
Yeah.
I say that.
No, now it'll be hundreds for channels of zeros of dollars.
Yeah.
Or
There
104
we go.
channels.
Yeah. 104 channels of zeros of dollars.
Hundreds
All right.
four channels.
Just keep giving him ideas. He'll get them on.
There's only 2 channels I watch on there anyway. What?
Well,
You
anyway,
realize all those are going to be set in there subliminally. Thank you very much.
you're very welcome. Well, let's see if you can keep it straight. Why don't you go ahead and just dive back in? Give us another read.
Okay. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
All right, opening it up.
Still not crazy about your first line. The rest of it sounded good, but for me, I just wasn't crazy about your first line.
It wasn't, it needed to be closer to the enthusiasm of the other, but not that much, or a little more
No.
smile in it, maybe?
A little more smile, but a little smoother. It was a little staccato.
Okay, yeah, I had
Yeah,
it. I
that's
had
what
it
it
broke
was.
up, so it was. Where do you go?
Yeah,
when you
suspenseful.
drop into.
Yeah,
Pluto
I think if you
TV?
did it a little smoother, maybe the same energy, but a little smoother, I think it would sound better.
Okay.
But that's just me.
Maybe just one pause instead of two. Where do
Yeah,
you go when you
I'm
drop
with you
into
on that, Russ.
Pluto
That's just
TV?
what I was going to do was remove one of my little pause commas.
Yeah, then we'll make Frank happy and me.
Yeah, remove one
We'll
of the
have a happy medium.
pauses.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I'm wondering a little bit about it. The my interpretation of suspenseful goes with you don't really know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing when you say the first line, and the first line sounds pretty happy to me when you're saying it. So just for discussion.
In the chat, Rob placed more suspenseful in the beginning, i.e., the shadow knows.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Yes, drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. Like that?
Perfect. Next.
It's just missing that shadows.
It could work. It could work.
Where do you go?
That one would stand out.
Okay. All right. I'll try and smooth it out. I'm going to keep a little pause in and not be so happy, but still be a little bit upbeat so it's not too much of a change. All right. Let's see what we can do here.
And try and make it sound like you need a haircut.
My coif is not up to standard. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
I like it.
Yeah.
Russ, did the one pause help you? Did
I think I
satisfy?
still heard two pauses, to be honest with you, but I was happy with two pauses.
Okay. The other one might have been a little shorter.
Yeah.
Well, all in all, that one definitely had a much better tone to it.
Yeah.
All right,
Good
well, you did it.
job.
Moving right along.
Way to go, Richard.
Yay.
All right, Frank,
I got a golf clap.
it's on you. Go for it, Frank.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
All right, and what did everybody think of that one?
Everything was good, but the last line sounded really fake.
Yeah, it sounded forced. I could feel that.
Pluto TV or drop in. It's free.
Pluto TV.
Okay.
It's like you're building up and then you just went over the top, like a little too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking the directions say not over the top, and that one a little far.
Okay.
Yeah, I went car salesy.
Bring it down to
Try
the
it
end. Go
again.
ahead and give us another read.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Was that?
Better.
I like that better. I was just, I said while I was muted and you didn't hear it. I,
Sure you did. Sure
I
you
said
did.
you.
Richard,
I
Coach
gotta
Richard.
turn off the Bluetooth. Yes. Yeah, I thought you needed to slow down a little from the first one, and that's exactly what you did when you brought down the enthusiasm. You weren't running through it quite so much, and I thought that was a much better happy medium. So you must have heard me psychotically or something, the way that I, put it out there. So
Psychotically.
You mean psychically?
Psychedelically.
that's the
He
wife
heard
says
you
I definitely have a
psychotically.
psychotic notion, so it's always when I
okay,
guess
okay.
what she's saying. So.
Yes,
Sure,
he heard you psychotically. He did, mother.
Is that gonna be your next nickname? Richard Psychotically Durrington.
Those who know me would go, not gonna be much different than that.
All right. So everybody happy with that read? I
Yep.
thought it was pretty good.
Mhm.
I mean, after all,
Moving
we all
right
sit in
along.
padded rooms and we're
Andrea.
psychotic.
Andrea, you're up.
Okay. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Other than the drop off on it's free, it was perfect.
Yeah, I heard that little
I felt it
energy
too.
drop. It just kind of it's
Drop
like,
in.
It's like she
It's
caught herself. Was like, "Oh, put on the brakes." And, didn't need to put on the brakes on that one.
It was almost like a suspect free. Drop in. It's free.
It's free,
It's got the asterisk right in front of it. Drop in. It's free.
How good is it?
Anyway. go
Well,
ahead and
it's
give us another
free.
read.
All right.
Yeah. mm.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Generally much better. A
That
little
was-
quick. I'd like for you to slow it down a bit more.
Sure. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
You see, you did something really
Nice.
special there. No.
Really?
Don't start disparaging.
Your
yourself.
pacing
You
was
did something
good,
really
too.
Special. Yeah, the pacing was really good. But the thing is you sort of kept the same energy, but changed your inflection to differentiate between being really excited and being suspenseful. So it's like you were excited about it the whole time, but you sort of kept it quiet at the beginning and then let it out a little bit more for the rest of it. I liked
Okay.
that. I thought it worked, but that's me. What did everybody
Yeah.
else think?
I liked it
Yeah.
better. Her first read was that first line was just almost deadpan. It was like it needed something. And then it's come up. And so you were excited to tell us about it. I don't know how much suspenseful, but I'm kind of with you, Michael. I liked the way that came across. I thought Pluto TV dropped just a hair, though. It still needs to be, it's Pluto TV. Yay. Not Pluto TV. Yeah, it's another channel.
Yeah.
I didn't get much suspense from the first line, to be honest with you. I mean, there was a change, but it didn't feel like suspense. I'm with you on the change part.
Well, then, why don't you try giving us just a little bit more suspense on that first line, Andrea?
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
All right. How was that one?
Yeah, it was the same comment for Richard. It just sounded too happy to be suspenseful.
Too
kinda.
happy?
Yeah, it's just you need a
I'm a happy person,
medium, but-
Russ.
Well, that's okay.
You need to try a different. It's kind of gonna sound strange, but a different character for that one line.
Okay.
You know,
You're
or just
spinning
kind
the
of-
wheel of fortune and you don't know if you're going to hit the bankrupt or not.
Robert Stack right before he tells what the mystery's about. Well,
All right. Try it again.
Yeah.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
That one worked
I
for
liked
me.
it.
Yeah,
liked
I
it.
felt it.
Yeah.
too.
Realistic.
It was
Yeah,
good.
Yay, cool.
Fantastic. All right,
Thanks, guys.
moving right along. Russ, you're up next.
We're going to be done by 7.
Likely we are. This was a short one.
I won't
7.
starve tonight. Yay.
Whatever. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
All right, opening it up. What did everybody think?
You drop down on it's free and your where do you go line, the first one, you need a little more oomph. It was just
Yeah,
kind of deadpan, and it's like nobody's going to continue
Well,
listening to the rest of it. It
it
needed
kinda had
something
that-
to bring us in.
I'm reading a storybook to my kid thing. I'm not exactly sure how it came across that way, but it managed to come across with "Once
It's-
upon a time."
Because
Only
That
with
kind
the
of
creepy
feeling
uncle.
to
was
it on that
whispered,
first
that's
line.
why. You were
Yeah.
almost whispering when you said it. You weren't.
That's what it
Or
was. Is
whisper.
that where he dropped it into a whisper?
Hmm.
Yeah, it sounded to me like you were in a movie theater and whispering something to the person next to you.
Don't wake the that's
That
my
kind of
don't wake
vibe.
the baby voice.
Yeah, almost.
Mark Cashman.
There you go.
Yeah.
And keep your enthusiasm. Drop in. It's free. Not drop in. It's free.
Yeah.
Pluto TV.
I-
You need to keep your drop in was good, and then it fell off with it's free, and because you went down on free, your Pluto TV also was drug along with it,
Yeah.
kicking and screaming all the way to the basement. But you
Okay.
just didn't have that. Your hundreds of channels, the enthusiasm was great, the drop in was good, and then it just died. I don't know.
Okay, I'll go again. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was lots better.
There you
Good
go.
job on following directions. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick one net if I can.
Uh-oh.
Robin.
Only one. You're going to leave the rest.
I just want to know that you really emphasize you on that first one. Where do you go? I mean, I guess I've always kind of heard stay off of that a little bit because you're talking to somebody. They know that you're talking to them. You don't have to emphasize.
Mhm.
Yeah, like Richard said, poke. You don't have to poke at them.
It might be the point of the line, though. Like if somebody's falling into a place they don't know.
I would say put the emphasis on go in that case.
Mhm. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Where do you
Go,
go
yeah.
when you
do you
drop
go?
into something like that?
It almost sounds awkward, though. Let me try it with go
Right,
real quick.
Or do. Where do you go?
No, I would say go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah, yeah.
the idea is, you know, you're being taken to these different channels and that. So I would say go
Mhm.
is the emphasis word in that first line.
Yeah. Okay, let me try that.
What?
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Much better.
One thing we didn't talk about
Yeah.
either, the first line is a question, the second line is the answer. I don't know if anybody said that. Right?
No, nobody said that, but you are right.
But
Yes.
it's
You
true.
are absolutely right.
But I don't think anybody's been reading the second line as a question.
No.
Or
The
the first
second line
line
is
is
the answer.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, just to make sure you get it the way they wrote it, the way they intended
Oh.
it. That's kind of the subtext, I think.
Yeah, I
Alright.
mean that could easily work that way. Yeah, if you use that. But then again, there's quite a bit of a gap between that the first question and the second sentence. But you know, it could work.
All right.
So I believe I am up next, right?
Yes, you are.
Yes, it is me. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. What did you think?
Very subdued.
Yeah, I didn't feel invited. Drop in should feel invited. That's another thing we didn't
Okay.
really say either.
And your first line was kind of like when the way Russ started out, it was almost whisperish,
Okay.
and it just didn't, because of going from that, and then your hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars was okay, but it could have stood a little more enthusiasm. Just the whole tone of it was very hushed, I guess. As
Okay.
It was.
Okay. All right. I'll try to bring it up a bit more. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Still kind of whispered. That
But
first.
better. Definitely better.
Yeah, it's closer. You're getting there. You don't drop your Pluto TV. The enthusiasm you have on drop in, it's free. Pluto TV. Instead of drop in, it's free. Pluto TV.
Yeah, I think you hit the right level for the hundreds of channels line.
Yeah.
Just
it-
the first line, make sure you can be heard to the back of the room.
Okay.
I think you need a little bit more energy on the zeros of dollars too, because you tend to drop off at the dollars part. Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Like, oh, bummer. So I think if you brought it up a little bit, the drop in it's free would also brighten up.
I want to pay for this, doggone it.
That's right. I don't get to pay hundreds of dollars every month. Damn it.
I
You
can
got to
get
do
this-
something with all this money burning a hole in my pocket.
I can get this right alongside my regular channels on my smart TV. Wow.
I want to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
All right. Let's give it another go. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
You started to drop your Pluto TV and cut yourself. It went down and back up again.
Yeah.
But I think you solved the problem with the first line, so that's good now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
only-
The first line is good. Now the last line still needs work.
Yeah. The only thing I would say too is
Bracket
that
that thing.
when you get into drop in, it's free Pluto TV. You're getting a little staccato, so it's like drop in, it's free Pluto
Drops in-
TV.
Yeah.
Like instead of drop in, it's free Pluto TV. Like you're drop in, it's free Pluto TV.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Bob
saying?
suggested using Jack Black persona again.
Again? When did I use Jack Black?
It was a couple weeks ago.
And I channel my inner Jack Black.
What do we say? Muddy it up a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Channel your inner Jack Black.
Oh, okay. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in, it's free. Pluto TV.
Now you've lost the energy.
I've lost the energy.
On
Yeah,
hundreds-
you were
hundreds-
crying.
The first
for
line was
that.
good, but the hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars, the energy has just been, you deflated the balloon.
I could and because I do this on a daily basis anymore, I could tell you were reaching for that character type. I could just you were searching in
Yeah,
your
I
mind
was-
as
I was-
fast as possible.
I was definitely overthinking it. I was
Yeah.
definitely overthinking it.
And I understand why, because I mean you're probably not watching a whole lot of Jack Black recently, so you know I get that.
Okay. Stop overthinking it. Let's just go in.
Yeah.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. Man, the silence is deafening.
Yeah, I think you found the attitude without reaching too hard.
Yeah, that was I was had a client getting a hold of me. It's that sounded, I mean, it had a level all the way through at that time. There wasn't anything that would drop. I don't think you were doing the staccato. It was a lot smoother.
Again, I'm not still feeling much mystery on line one though. The rest of it sounded great, but I mean,
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? That a little bit better?
Yeah.
We'll splice that in.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that found that
Okay.
sounded paced just right.
All right.
That-
Cool.
That finally brought you up. The whisper was gone. The enthusiasm stayed.
Yeah, and okay, Jack Black. I need Jack Black.
Yeah. No,
Where's Jack
I was way
Black?
overthinking that. I was really overthinking that. So.
But see, I could feel that.
Mhm.
Okay, because I do, a constant stream of impressions, give or take, if there's something that I don't listen to for a while and haven't played around with a lot, I lose it a little bit and I have to reach for it to find it again. So it takes more than one take to get back into that place. So I get where you're going with that.
Yeah,
You
I
done
was
good.
definitely overthinking it. But okay, if everybody's happy, if I hit it, let's go ahead and move right along. Leonard, you're up. Go for it.
Okay. Where do you go when you drop? Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in, it's free. Pluto TV.
Okay, what did everybody think?
We'll have to drop off on that second line again. Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an explanation point there for a.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got a question for you. You don't know where to go? Boy, do I have the answer. It's hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. And that enthusiasm will carry over to your drop in. It's free.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
don't drop your it's free off either.
Yeah, because
It was-
even though you're taking a couple beats between dollars and drop in, you gotta just keep that energy flowing as if drop in is right on the backside of that.
Okay. Well, let's try it again. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in, it's free. Pluto TV.
You stepped down. You went
As
good energy on hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Then you took a step down to drop in. It's free. And then you took another step down for Pluto TV.
Okay.
where you're at with zeros of dollars, Frank said exactly what I was going to say. Where you're at with your enthusiasm with zeros of dollars, don't get rid of that. Take that enthusiasm, go to the next line and do it just exactly the way you did, and read Pluto TV the way you end on It's Free, Pluto TV. Pluto in, drop in, it's free, Pluto TV. It just went,
Okay.
and it just died.
Okay. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in, it's free. Pluto TV.
A
My
little bit better,
suggestion.
but you still did drop off again. Sorry, Andrea.
Yep.
Go ahead, Frank.
No, I said what I needed to. Your turn.
Okay. The drop in it's free sounds like one sentence. Maybe slow that down just a little bit.
Okay.
What I heard was like a fake smile. Did anybody else hear that?
That's what it was. Yeah, it was drop in, it's free. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can
You mean
just-
like that, Russ?
I know you can.
Okay. Well then. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in, it's free. Pluto TV.
He went back to absolutely no enthusiasm for the last three lines. Just-
Okay, yeah, I heard that too.
The
Yeah,
first line's
it
good.
had
I
no-
like the first line.
Yeah, the first line was great.
It's that I think you're having trouble changing gears.
I don't do the loud car salesman bit that well.
I don't think it's asking for that.
It feels like it to me. Though.
Yeah, I can tell.
I try to do and
Maybe just read it
no
without the
offense
first
to our
line.
radio DJ friend here, Frank, but try to do the classic radio DJ without the puke. When you do the whole hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars,
I think you should just skip the first line. and then roll back into the whole thing.
And you can try that too. Okay.
Okay. So I'm sorry, Russ. What were you suggesting there?
I'm saying since the change is messing you up, if you do just the second line through the end, you'll get the
Okay.
feeling for it, and then go back up to the top, and then just do the same thing you did the first time after that first good read of that first line. If that makes, maybe it'll work. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll try it. Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Yep, that was it.
There
Yeah,
you go.
The only thing that's nitpicky is you're ignoring the comma between drop in and it's free.
Okay.
You're just doing that as a runner. You're going drop in, it's free.
Okay.
One thing,
But
Drop
I-
in. It's free.
Yeah, exactly.
There
That's
you
all
go.
need to do.
or say to yourself, as I was given a direction once, is drop in because it's free. Drop in, it's free. So you have the cuz to yourself, and so that gives you the pause. Hey, cuz drop in, it's free, cuz it's free. So just a thought, just something somebody told me once.
Okay.
No, that was the last one was you were Pluto TV died a little, but other than that, when you went back around the horn, that was a good suggestion, Russ. That worked really well. But you got to the end, and I'm on the last line, Pluto TV. It was so close. Literally, the rest of them were all great. You drop in and a little more pause on it, but before it's free, and don't lose that when it's free. Pluto TV. Keep that enthusiasm to the next line. So that was your best read, though, was the last one.
Okay.
Everybody happy with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did a fantastic job. I would have taken that take personally. All right.
Thank you.
According to the chat window, it's Riab's turn.
I thought it was Nathan's turn.
Oh, right. It is Nathan's turn.
Okay.
My bad. Sorry. It's just Riab really stuck out to me.
It's Nathan's turn. Oh, wow. That just gave it an accent. That's all it did.
Look, I
Anyway.
can't type, okay?
Where do you go? Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in, it's free. Pluto TV.
I felt like I got
Okay, opening
punched.
it up.
You sound like you've got cotton in your mouth.
Blah-blah-blah.
Where
I don't really sound like I've got cotton in my mouth.
You're not doing a character here.
Did I
Yeah,
get
it was
normal
sounding
mouth?
to me like you were channeling a cartoon.
Yeah, you not only muddied it up, you garbled with the muddy.
I muddied it up and garbled it up. Oh my, what have I done to myself? Okay.
You also might want to try Richard's trick with the drop in because it's free. It was really, really fast.
Yeah.
Blew right over that one. Yeah, you're right.
I gave everybody audio whiplash. Okay. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
That was a lot
Okay.
better.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Any other ideas? Feedback?
First line didn't
Got it?
quite come across as a question to me, but other than that, definitely big improvement.
Yeah, the other three lines and that little pause when you say that to yourself was just enough that drop in. It's free. I mean, why wouldn't you drop in? So that came across. Yeah, the only issue I had was the first line. Also, there was something. The last three were perfect. So we need something to splice in with the last three. So give us the first line.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
The first line was good, but you didn't raise it up to differentiate it for the rest of it.
Yeah. He punched the second U a little hard too, kind of like what John was saying. It was, where do you go when you drop into Pluto? What did I do?
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
But it was better if you just hadn't have punched that you
Yeah.
you would have had your first line correct. You did it that time almost.
Leave that poor you alone. I
I'm
didn't do
sorry,
anything.
you. I'll never do it again.
All right, give us another read. Go for
Okay.
it.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
That first line's a question. You read it as a statement.
Hmm.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV?
Wait.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV?
Wait, Richard, are you telling me that Nathan is somehow, for whatever reason, ignoring the punctuation? What?
And yet I wrote
That might have
punctuation
been the
for
case. I'm
myself just to
you
make
know.
sure I had it. Yeah.
And it was great right up until it was just a statement and not a question. It's like, oh, you had it that time. It was wonderful, but it was just a statement and not a question.
Where do you go?
So in the line of giving people feedback that's like unfeedback, kind of like do it again but better, it was great all the way up until it wasn't.
Yeah. Until it died. Uh,
Go for it. Yeah, go for it from the top.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
your last three lines are being very consistent and good. You are not
That's
reading
that
the
first
first
line.
one as a question. When you drop into Pluto TV,
Okay.
it's go up a little bit. It's a question. Go up on the end of that just a smidge
Okay.
and see if that doesn't help. But you weren't beating up the U's. They're not
Yeah.
battered anymore, so they're happy that they haven't
Not
been
beating up
smacked
to
around.
use. Just a little bit more up speak. We'll do
Yep.
fine.
It's a question.
I'm just going to do this first line.
Nathan, try a 1, 2, 3 on that first line.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV?
See, I don't
Pluto
wanna take the first one.
TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of those three, I would only take the first one because it was the only one where you didn't hit that U.
Yeah.
That second U.
Yeah. Slap that
When
you and I could
when you
feel
drop into Pluto TV, make sure you so don't like take any emphases off of there by putting the emphasis on go and drop. Like make sure to underline those or highlight those or something like that. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV?
Mark up my copy here. Okay.
Go ahead and give us those first line, like 3 of the first line again.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Where do you go when you drop into Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV?
You put a comma after go, didn't you, for yourself?
Yes, I did.
It's chopping you up a little bit. That third one, you ignored it, and that sounded great, but you needed to end it off as a question.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the second take, you did end it as a question, so good on that. But the other two, not so much.
Yeah, I still feel that that third take, that last one that you did, was your best one so far, but definitely ended off at a question.
Maybe more like the Batman narrator.
The Batman narrator.
I can't think of his name.
I've played Batman before. Yeah, let's not do Kevin Conroy Batman, right? Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV?
Oh no, I mean that's in like 66 or whatever.
Oh, 66 Batman. Come on, old chum. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV?
But the narrator for saying that.
Oh,
saying
that guy. Okay, I'm thinking Batman himself. All right. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV?
I'm seeing some head shaking coming from Frank.
I'm
That
going to
was
loosen
close.
myself
You
up a little.
Started to go up, but yeah, you're just having a real tough time making that a question.
Let
Talk
me
to
play
somebody.
around with it a little bit. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV?
Nope. That's still a statement.
TV?
Yee. Okay.
You're asking
Where do
your
you
friend,
go?
where do you go when
Drop
you
into
drop
Pluto TV.
You're going down at the end. Stop that.
Ah,
All right, listen, Nathan,
I think
read
I
it
know.
like you're asking someone, like you're asking for directions. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto? Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? I
Where do
don't
you
know where to
go
go when
when
I
you
get
drop
there.
into Pluto TV?
TV.
There, we're getting a little closer.
Where do you go when you
Don't go
drop
down.
into Pluto TV?
TV.
Where do you
That
go
was
when you drop into Pluto TV?
there. Oh, I heard a question. Holy crap.
I did it.
That was
I found
awesome.
that spot. Wait, yeah. Thank you. This is challenging. This is good and challenging. Yes. Yes.
I told you it's the short ones. The short ones are super deceptive.
I've been playing a lot
Yeah,
of RPGs. This is gold super boss challenging. Okay, not that bad, but still.
So now remember, make sure that it's a question and then add it into the rest of the read. Go for it.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Nope.
Nathan, raise your hand when you say TV.
You went right back down again to the exact same thing you were doing.
And
No change.
lowering my voice thing. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Yay.
Yeah, that was it.
Thank you for that direction, Andrea. The thing of it is raising my hand. Okay.
Question?
I'm a
Conduct
puppeteer.
yourself.
All right. So as soon as my hand went up, my head started thinking in character. So it literally helped a lot. Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and move right along with this. Now it is Riyadh's turn. Riyadh, go for it.
Dan!
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
I can't see him. Okay. You want me to go ahead and read?
Yeah, go for it, please.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
That was so close, but you dropped off a little too sharply right at the end. You were almost there, but Pluto TV at the very end was just this crash. Try to keep it up just a little bit more. Carry it through to the end. You've got this. One more read.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Okay, that was a little too quick now. You definitely sped up your pace from your last read, but if you can bring the pace down but keep everything that you've just did the same, you'll be right on top of it.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
All right, what did everybody think of that one?
He's still dropping down on the Pluto TV, and that time he didn't ask the question on the first line. It was close to a question, I guess, but you want to take that drop in, it's free. That enthusiasm you had, move that over to Pluto TV. Don't, it's free, Pluto TV.
It sounded a little bit hushed to me too. I'm not like movie theater hushed, but
First line.
picture yourself as like a tour guide or something, and you have to speak loudly enough so the folks in the back can hear you.
Okay. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
There, you didn't lose the Pluto TV on the end that time. That was lots better. A little hushed on the first line, but the last three you did great.
You want me to run that again? First line? First line throughout?
Yeah, go ahead and give us one more full solid read. We'll put it all together this time.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
There we
That was
go.
it.
I thought that was
That's
great.
putting them all together. Good
That
job.
was it.
The first line was
Nice.
really
Nice.
good, I thought.
Cool. Thanks for the advice.
Next up
I think it's me.
is John. John, go for it.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in, it's free. Pluto TV.
Okay, what did everybody think?
Sounding
That
kind
was
of
a
like you're
different
being
take.
smart on the first line. Like, I don't know. Where do you go for? I don't know. It just sounded kind of like you're being smart about it.
Okay.
Instead
Little
of mysterious
snarkiness
or
in there.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was a little bit of, this is where you go, and you're going to like it.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Smart factor 10, Mr. Sulu, and fast.
Yeah, I
Excited
kind of
about
like
this
the
one.
casualness you had there on the drop in. It's free. It stood out a
Yeah.
bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Again.
So do I need to drop the snark on the first line? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it
a
does
little
sound
bit.
You want-
mysterious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want somebody to anticipate what you're going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
It's better.
Almost there. Your first line was not a question.
Yeah.
It was.
It sounded a little.
Can I ask a question?
Can you put it in the form of a statement, please?
And make it the first line.
On which syllable do you put the emphasis? Um,
Rest in peace.
why does it necessarily have to sound like a question?
Because it is one.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm comparing it to what books today, what I hear, and I don't hear people asking like that unless it's a woman and it's a very cheerful thing. If it's something that's suspenseful, it's kind of a
Well, here's the thing though. You
Almost
don't have to raise it a whole lot to communicate the question feel. You just dropped it off at the very. This isn't like one of those really serious roles. This is supposed to be a little bit over the top. So I think in this case, it calls for even just a slight upsweep at the end of it. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? You see, just even just the slightest little uptick at the very end can change it
I'll
up.
do it again.
You don't really need to do where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? You don't have to sweep the whole thing up. It's just at the very end. If you give it that slight upturn, you'll still communicate it and it'll fit in perfectly.
Okay.
Because as Russ was saying earlier, you've got the question on the top line, and then the second line is the answer to the question. So if you don't have a question
build
to
up.
it,
Okay.
it's hard to put the answer in without the question. Does that help?
Yeah, it's fair enough. I'll come at it from a different. I come from different.
Yeah, no, but here's I was just playing with it a little bit. What if you went up on the Pluto and then down on the TV? Like, where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV?
Yeah, you're making it different.
It's still a question, but you put an upswing on Pluto and then down on the TV. It's still a question, and it actually in a way does fit into a suspenseful read, like if you were doing a film noir kind of read or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like
It also highlights the sponsor a bit.
Well, there is that too. Yes, Russ. But it's just a thought. Why don't you try it like that and see how that would work, just for something different.
I got something real quick, John, for you. Drop in and it's free sounded the exact same. Like drop in, it's free. See that it.
Okay.
I just want a little bit of difference between the two, just to.
Yes,
It
sir.
sounded like a repetitive notes over and over.
Russ, since you asked, I'll do it.
Okay, thanks.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
There, I like that.
I like that one. I like
There
that.
you go.
one.
Yep.
Okay.
It was just a smidge up for the question. What didn't have to be slap them. It is, where do you want to drop into Pluto TV? I'm asking. It was very subtle. It flowed. That was
I really like the drop in. It's free.
yes.
The way you went, drop in. It's free. Like, come on. Why wouldn't you come here?
Yeah.
I like that.
I would have liked just a little more on Pluto TV at the end.
No.
you had your one shot, Russ. He did it for you. You don't get any more. Sorry.
All right.
You're done.
I'm
Pluto.
going
TV.
on mute.
From
Yeah, just give a massive close up there. Pluto.
Yeah. Don't give us jazz
Rob,
hands, John. That would
Rob,
be too much.
what was it that you were trying to say?
Who what?
I thought Rob was trying to say something.
no, I
I
just
thought
had a
I-
problem with Frank from Everybody Loves Raymond, the dad.
Oh, okay.
Are you offended, Frank?
What's that?
Are you offended?
I didn't even hear what somebody said.
He said you sound like the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond a little bit.
No, that means I never watched the show.
Oh Lord.
Vincent's here.
No, I
Yep.
see John sounded like Frank from
Oh,
Everybody
John sounded like him.
Oh,
Oh,
John.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Vincent, you want to go ahead and give us a read?
Oh yeah, sure.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Come on. Where do you go when you drop it? Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Okay, so now that you had that preliminary read out of the way, go ahead and give us a real one. Give us a read.
Okay. Where do you go when you drop into the Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Okay, feedback. What everybody think?
There was one added word. Drop into the Pluto TV.
Mm-hmm.
And the first line's
You
supposed to
added
be suspenseful, Vincent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're talking about a mystery show that's coming on or something.
All right. Want me to try again one more time?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Okay, what everybody think of that one?
I think you need more energy on that second line. It's really, really exciting. There's hundreds of channels and it's zeros of dollars.
Exciting. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It feels to me like you need to work on having everything flow together a little more. And it sounded like, where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Like almost like there's a period after every word there. And not quite that bad, of course, but make it flow together.
Make it flow together. Okay. I'll try to because I just got back from the gym and I had to do everything when I got home. All right. Make it suspenseful. Sound like it. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Okay, what everybody think?
I think he's getting there. Definitely better.
The short ones are always a doozy.
Yeah, that was a lot smoother. So it
Yeah.
was getting put together. It's coming along and not
Yeah, so-
sounding like reading each individual word. So
So here's the idea. that first line, think of it as like Christmas morning. You're excited about something, but you want to kind of keep it hush. You don't want to wake everybody up. You know, where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? And then finally, you get to start opening up the presents. Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. You know, try to keep the energy going throughout the rest of it, because you have this thing about dying right at Pluto TV. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV. You know, you don't want to mute out the client here. So go ahead, give us one more read, and let's put it all together.
Okay, make it suspenseful and make it sound like I'm excited. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
Well, the last part was really good. Not hearing much suspense on the first line, but
I like the energy though.
Yeah,
Well,
he's kept the
last
energy
few lines
good.
were good.
Mhm.
Can you
Okay.
just read the first line for us and try and make it suspenseful where we feel it?
Yeah, I'm still hearing like periods after drop into Pluto TV. So if you could just say drop into Pluto all in one breath.
Drop into Pluto TV.
I'm still hearing
Where
a
do you-
period after drop.
Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Where do you go when you drop into Pluto TV? Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Drop in. It's free. Pluto TV.
There you go.
Got those last
Yeah.
lines down.
Yeah, that was good.
There, that
Nice job,
flowed
Vincent.
really well. Good job.
Man's been practicing.
All
Thank you.
righty then. Well, like we said before, because I'm pretty sure that's everybody. We didn't have any other latecomers who were going to read, I don't think. Okay, cool.
No.
Because I have a bad habit of skipping people. I don't want to do that again.
No,
Well,
we almost
anyway.
had the Brady Bunch thing going on tonight.
Yeah, seriously. Well, anyway, that's all for tonight. Oh, sorry about that. That was my phone that dropped. That's all for tonight. Like I said, it was going to be a short script, a short one, but hey, those are always the most challenging. I think I'm actually going to go for another short one next week, or week after, should I say. Next week is Nathan's week. So let us know in the comments what you thought about this whole thing. Were there anything that we missed? Was there anything you'd like us to try differently? Please, we'd love to hear it. And if you can, go ahead and support us on social media. And if you have the ability to, on Patreon. And we'll see you all next time.
Join us every Monday for free script practice. You can also find the Mic Check on Facebook and Twitter. If you liked what you saw, then subscribe for more.